Morning guys, Salmon Pacific Northwest Kayak Adventures. Today we're at Shileshole. We're gonna do some coho fishing, do a little bit of Dungeness and rockfish crabbing, and we're gonna hope to just see what's down there. I haven't been out in a while, been MIA, but time to get back at it, back at the grind, baby. Let's go. Try to explain what I'm doing. I'll give a little more details about what my gear is, what my depth setup will be, how fast I'm trolling, and what I normally look at in the mornings. Set up the crab pot here. I'm using chicken today. Favorite bait all time. Never lets me down. It's cheap, it's effective. I think personally it's better than fish carcasses. That's just my personal opinion, but someone can argue otherwise. One of my favorite spots to crab here at Shileshole is right off of the north side of the Golden Gardens beach. There's a ridge that I call it that significantly drops from 60 to 100 feet pretty quick, and whenever the tide comes in, it kind of swings around this point here. For some reason it brings in a lot of bait. The crabs like to sit there during the high tides, and they'll like to eat chicken. So all right, we're set up here. Gonna drop the crab pot down, set the buoy, and GG's. Touchdown. All right, we're gonna go connect my secondary buoy for safety measures. All right, let's do this, baby. All right, time for some coho fishing, baby. This is my Akuma Guide Select. 8 foot, rated for 10 to 20 pounds. Paired it up with my low profile cold water. This is probably one of my favorite setups for coho fishing. Very manageable on a kayak. Very flexible when you need it. It's got good backbone. Just all in all reliable. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start off with my short buzz flasher here. Green, red is probably one of the most common you'll see all across Puget Sound for salmon fishing. And then I'll start off with my Ace High Fly for my weapon of choice. Roughly 30 inches of lead. I'm going to use some herring for herring strips. We're going to start off with setting your gear about 30 feet back from the kayak or your vessel. I'm pairing this setup with my Scotty 1060 downrigger. It's got a line counter on there so I can really precisely place my gear where I want it. So right now we're just gonna start off at 45 feet with the downrigger. And right there. So right now we're at 45 feet, fishing about 124 feet of water. We're just gonna tighten down the line. And then you're just gonna set your drag it a little loose, so when the fish does pull, it can pop and run free. If you have it too tight, the fish is gonna smack it and pull your line, create enough tension to break off. So you always wanna set it loose just enough to where your reel starts spinning by itself due to the tension. When it starts spinning, just slowly tighten it down until it just barely stops spinning. And then you can test it with your hand and it should be still pretty groovy. So we're gonna be trolling at 2 to 2.8 miles an hour, just depending on which way with the current you're going. So right now we're going against current, which we're going roughly 2.3 miles an hour, which is about perfect. When you're going against current, you wanna go slower, in a sense of when the water flows against your gear hypothetically starts moving quicker, so you don't have to go as fast. I mean, you can still go fast, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just you don't have to work as hard. I mean, a lot of new guys, they'll try to overwork themselves because they think they're not going fast enough against current or stuff, but as long as you got good water flow against your gear and everything's spinning and working as should, you don't have to worry too much. It's beautiful out today. Nice and smooth, nice and cold, not too breezy. Gonna ask for a better day today. So I'm gonna show you guys my trolling route I normally take. So there's the green buoy over there, and there's me on that little arrow, and normally I'll just follow this line right here, and I'll just go back and forth. I think this area is probably around the 350 feet to 250, and I'll just stay within this range. A lot of these baits, they'll fly through this area with the tide. A lot of the cohos, they'll come right along that and follow them. And this little corner right here is it's kind of like a more mild area of water flow, because the current will hit this corner and continuously move over, but this little area is kind of the sweet spot to relax before they continue on. So you'll see a lot of bait balls here, you see a lot of cohos in the area, smolts, but this general area is like the main highway for a lot of these cohos and chinooks. Sometimes I like to drop it down just to see if I can entice a bite. Just about every drop that you put down there's probably a few adult salmon that'll chase your gear. They'll just follow it and they won't bite, but sometimes when you can entice them to bite, it just takes a sudden change of depth to where it makes it look like the prey is running away, and they'll really want to strike. So right now I dropped it down to about 65 feet on the downrigger. Still fishing about 130 feet of water. We got bait balls from 20 to 40, salmon from 60 to 80. Swapping over to the gold nugget hearing aid. Alright, so it's been about an hour of the crab pot soaking. We're gonna go back, pick it up, see if we can get some keepers. And then we'll reset and drop back down. Oh, fish on, fish on. Never mind. Let's go, baby. Oh yeah. Okay, on the hearing aid. Woo, that's a good size. Yeah, baby. I'm in a bad spot right now. Being next to the buoy. Haven't felt a fish bite in a long time, baby. All right, we're gonna slow it down here. That was about 50 feet of water on the downrigger. Fish on, baby. Let's go. That's a Chinook.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It looks like a Chinook, so.
Oh, it does. Oh.
Yeah, I can see some spots, but.
Yeah. Drag it over to Elliott Bay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be back in a few hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a Chinook. Woohoo! All right. Get back in there, baby. Yeah. Ooh, that's not bad. There's a few nice ones in there. So this is a keeper size for sure. When you check these, you want to make sure they're male. The way you tell, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, but this little part where they go pee pee and poo poo, the female will have a really round thingy, my bobber. I'm not sure what you call it. And then when you test for these to check if they're hard shell or soft shell, you want to touch the back part of their rear leg right on the, I don't know what you call this part, but you guys can see it. This part right here. You want to kind of pinch that. If it flexes, that means it's no good, but this one is solid, so that's a hard shell for sure, without a doubt. And you also test their their biceps on their legs too as well. You give that a pinch. Usually if it flexes, it's typically soft, but this one is really good. So we got one down. Let's put him in a safe spot. Well, actually, you know what? Just to show you guys how big this guy is. So you wanna be about measuring that this tool has to be over the max measuring depth, which this guy is way over. So it's pretty easy to gauge these guys once you do it long enough. That guy's roughly 6.5 inches. So here's another male. Pretty clean body. So you kind of see how he flinches every time I touch his body. There's a little bit of a flex on here on this guy, so I'm just gonna throw him back for safe measures. This guy is a big boy, but he does look clean. It looks soft. As you can see, it's on. As soon as I pinch his body, he flexes. That's a soft shell, so I'm gonna throw him back too. This rock crab. Yeah, fine, keepers. It's a keeper. I'll keep this guy. Not wrong with keeping rock crab. So right now we're at 100 feet of water. There's a buoy next to me, but we'll go ahead and drop it down. So usually when I drop this guy back down, I want to kind of feed it down there. I don't want to just drop it, because sometimes the pot will twist if it loses that tension on the line. So it's just insurance. You don't have to do it, but I feel better about it once it's done. It only takes, you know, an extra minute or two to set it down there, so it's not a big deal. I've had times where I would just throw it back down there without setting it down there. Came back and the crab pot was tilted sideways. There's no crabs in there. It was just a big mess. So we are making touchdown. Okay, back to fishing, baby. Hey! Look, it's the master. The professional, Mark. What's up, man? Want to say hi to YouTube? All right, time to go get the second pot. That's a nice hole. Holy cow. Okay, that's a good one. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 Dungeness, 1 rock. And I got a sock. Ew, that's gross. Alright, that's 8 Dungeness and 1 rock, baby. That's a 1 hour soak. That is insane. third crab pot pull. The crabbing's pretty good here today. My buddy caught a lot. Too much to count. So we're gonna try to pull up this third one. If we don't limit out on a rock, we're just gonna drop down for 1 more hour for the fourth pull and get on out of here. Not bad. We are freaking limited on crabs, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby. That's a good day. Well, we still got to get some rock crabs, so we're gonna drop back down and let it soak. But we did pull out 1 rock there. We're limited on dungies. All right, that should do it.